Hey everyone, I'm Allison and you're watching Long Island Thrifter. Today I'm in Southold, New York. Let's go thrifting. Today I'm visiting the North Fork Parish Outreach Thrift Shop at 56025 Main Road in Southold, which is also Route 25. Parking and the entrance are both in the back of the building, so pull around the back, park, and walk in to this many room thrift shop. The first room that you enter has clothing and shoes and also some china and other items. And I have to tell you, you have to go through the store several times because you're going to see new things at every turn. I guarantee it. And it really is one of my favorite shops here on Long Island. And I think it'll be your favorite as well. One of the first things I spotted was this basket of evening bags. I can't pass up looking at some really pretty. This is a gorgeous La Regale beaded evening bag, and it's so pretty, really nice condition. It was like all of them, $8. All of the evening bags, unless they were marked differently, were $8, which for this particular one is about the same price as you can get on eBay. These are sold comps anywhere from $8 up to $18 for a beaded handbag. Really nice one though. I really like that one a lot. Also in this room, jeans were $4 each. I didn't see any major brands like Levi's, but definitely check those out as I made my way to the right into this room, which has more children's items over here and more clothing. There's a lot of clothing all over the place. Golf clubs, which I don't know enough about golf clubs. I always look at them and then I'm kind of like, I'm not really sure enough about them to really know what I should pick up or leave behind. I love this case over here. There was some beautiful lusterware that the teapot with the cups and dessert plates, very nice. But it was this particular brown patterned coffee pot actually, and cups and sugar and creamer for only $15. I kind of wanted to get it. When I looked up the sold comps later, I couldn't find any sold comps. The only thing I did find were these for sale. And I don't know how long they've been up for sale, but that's a really nice calico coffee pot pattern. I did find the teacups in a different color for a set of 4 that sold for $20. That was it. And then down here, this is Treasure Craft. These 3 canisters were only $12. Again, did not find sold comps, only found some for sale. 1 for $19 and 2 for $28, and those were marked down. But I left those behind as well. There was a lot of artwork to look at all over the place. This is a limited edition Worcester Scott lithograph, and they had it marked down to $200. It says $340 on eBay. I did not see any sold comps, especially on that particular lithograph. Over here, I did see some Wallace Nuttings. He's very popular in the Northeast, and you do find his work in a lot of thrift stores and antique stores and whatnot. These ranged anywhere from $35 to $50, and some of them were very nice. Maybe the frames needed to be updated. I have a collection of about 3 or 4 of them. There were some really nice ones here. Turning around, I looked at the case and there's a lot to see in here. Jewelry, silver, all kinds of items. On top, I noticed this cheese dish or butter dish, $25. It says $71 on eBay, which made me curious. So I looked it up and I found a bunch of them for sale, ranging anywhere from $20 up to, yes, $71.24, which is an odd number, isn't it? But there were no sold comps for this. So I guess $25 is probably about the right price to sell it for. And then moving on, there's a lot of costume jewelry for those people who do collect. Come here because you can find a lot. I don't like the clowns. They freak me out, as I've told you before. Lots of dolls for the doll collectors. I know you're out there and watching. And yeah, there's so much to see in here. I just kept like going around and around. I get into like this zone. Do you get into a zone when you're thrifting? Because you're just kind of like, every time you turn around, you see something like, oh, look, 3 Cupid dolls for $25. And there are people that still collect these. I believe these were made in Japan and they were in nice condition. They're porcelain, very cute. I'm not a big fan of them, but there are people, look at how many are sold. And there were plenty more on that page that I looked up the sold comps. Over here, I saw this brass inkwell. It was selling for $35. And then there was an ink blotter. I don't remember what the price was on that. These are in really nice condition. And I know there's a lot of collectors out here. This I found was a similar one selling for $144. And then I found a sold comp on this one for $20. Again, look at it was a bid. Auctions I don't like. And then another one for $20. So I kind of think that one selling for $144 is a little much. And then this ink blotter was $23 that it sold for. And oh, I love this. I love this butter yellow, and the stitching was so, I'm not stitching, the crocheting is so beautiful. What a gorgeous, gorgeous blanket. And all that work that went into it, really nicely done. Then over here, I love these rotating cases. Everything in here was $5 each, but it rotates on its own. Isn't that cool? So throw it back to the old days. Then I moved into the next room over, which I think was like an enclosed patio. I love how they wrap all of their linens with ribbons. It looks so pretty, and everything is very neatly organized that way. I love this blue and white area, and I particularly loved these candlesticks. They were only $3 for the pair, and I know they're newer. They're not something that's an antique, but such pretty pieces, and you can definitely zhuzh up your home decor with pieces like that. I noticed this rooster pitcher made in Italy, really cute, very good condition. That was $5. Then over here was another pitcher that was also $5. I love the colorway on this a lot. I love that. It's like a, I don't know, kind of a greenish, muddy green. I don't know what you would call it. And then here's another Wallace Nutting, which I thought was beautiful. The colors were so vibrant. It was a tiny one. It's a very small one. And I took it off the wall to look at it, and it was $35 for this one. And I brought it out into the light a little bit to really see those beautiful pinks and the colors in it. It was just really, really very pretty. Look at that. Just stunning. I almost bought it, and then I held back. I decided not to. I have too many. And then over here I noticed this little salt and pepper shaker set. These were a pair for $10. I don't know, is that the butcher and the pig, or are they two separate salt and pepper shakers from two different sets? I think it's the butcher and the pig. You tell me if you know below. But I couldn't really find, everything I found was either two pigs or two people. So I kind of think that they're separate. But I'm going to say it's the butcher and the pig. That's all. And the pig is happy he's not being cut up. So back here in the back corner, there's some evening gowns and more linens and blankets and things like that that are really nice. Great time for people to start looking at maybe prom dresses, mother of the bride dresses, things like that. And then I noticed this Mexican blanket, which I can't pass them up. I really do love them. They're so easy to care for. You just throw them in the washing machine. And I like the colorway on this so much. So I did pick this up, and it was $4. So I was very happy with that, which is, you get them in Mexico for probably anywhere from $8 to $10 now, I think. I mean, back in the day, you could get them for $5. But they're always a great staple, always a good blanket to have around the house. I noticed inside, I don't know if this was $145 or $45 for this Tiffany style lamp, but it was in really nice condition. I'm back on the counter area. I walked back inside. Lots of jewelry again for those jewelry folks that are out there. This vase was $4, and then there were the bracelets. I went over here, and I really took a good look at them this time. There were some very interesting pieces. And then I was looking at the silver ones because there was one inside that I really liked, although it didn't fit my wrist. It was a little bit too small for me, but I really liked this one that has a little bit of a knot on it. And I think it is called the knot or something. I'm not positive. I didn't see any hallmarks on it, so I did leave that behind. They were in nice condition though. those. And then in the case, I did notice these vintage children's books, $10 each. There's also vintage cameras and again, lots to see in the cases. Over here on this table, I found this amethyst glass, and it did have it was signed, and it said 95, and it was $5. I decided to leave it behind, but I really thought it was a beautiful piece. And if you know the maker, please leave a comment below. I'm interested in knowing that. I thought this was a really cute vintage hat. I think it's $29. Really pretty, great for Easter or maybe someone's wedding. This was a pretty plate for $12. It was made in Bavaria, and I love the flower design on it, really nice. And then I scooted around to this area, which kind of has more housewares. And yeah, I think that's their regular coffee maker for the volunteers here, who are lovely, by the way. And then I turned around. Do you see it? Do you see it on the second shelf? It's hiding, and I am so excited. I found treasure here. I couldn't believe this when I saw it, and then I had to, with one hand, because I have to keep the camera in the other, take everything off. This is an aluminum strainer from probably like the 40s or the 50s, total mid-century. And then there it is. But wait, there's more inside. And of course, it was the luck of the Irish because I was able to get this. But you'll see it in a second. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's one hand. This is what it's about. But you can't read it yet, but you'll see it soon. I finally was able to get the shamrock out. That brought me to this pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. I was very excited about this. Take a look at this. It is in slow motion. This is a Moet & Chandon champagne bucket for only $5. You guys, look at these sold comps on these. I was so thrilled when I saw this. I was so excited. $150, $99 for one that's in shabby condition. So I'm excited. This is my big find for the day. For $5, I found this Moet & Chandon champagne ice bucket. It's vintage, it's aluminum. And I showed you some of the prices of some that have recently sold. If you find one that has Dom Perignon on it, those prices go even higher. If you find this in pewter, look at the price that one recently sold for. Incredible, right? So be on the lookout for a good champagne ice bucket. For $5, this should sell very well. Thanks for watching Long Island Thrifter. If you enjoyed this video, I think you might like this one next. Please tap the like button and hit subscribe. And keep on thrifting.